So I want to talk about Star Wars Jedi Survivor, the sequel to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. It's going to be out on next-gen consoles at the end of April, and I just kind of want to go over what I feel are really interesting points about this sequel, where they're expanding on what came before and a lot of the complaints that people had with that original game. First one being the backtracking. The backtracking in that first game did get pretty tedious, which is really disappointing because they definitely took heavy inspiration from Dark Souls and Metroidvania style games. Some of the mechanics they included in that first game really worked, but not at the maximum level. So I'm really excited to see that there's a bigger emphasis on large, fluid, engaging levels for the player that don't get stale. It kind of takes me back to when I was walking through the caves of Elder Scrolls Oblivion. And another big difference between this game and the last is the download size, which might turn some people off. We're looking at 155 gigs here. So yeah, clear some space. They're trying to give Warzone a run for its money. Now, if you remember at the end of the last game, you were pretty powerful. You had a double lightsaber, and you could do these cool little dual lightsaber attacks. There was a lot more experimentation you could have with the force powers and the attack abilities you got. You go into this next game, and where do you go from there? You could either dumb it down and make Cal a grunt over again, and it's like nothing ever happened, or you can shift that focus to a certain aspect of the game, such as the combat itself, and that's where the rewarding progression comes from, is upgrading your abilities in combat, specifically through the different stances of lightsabers. So you can focus on mastering certain lightsaber stances over another. I believe there are 6 in the game, and that really allows you to customize the experience to yourself. And speaking of customizing the experience, there's a lot more emphasis on customization in this game. If you remember in the first one, all it was about was collecting ponchos, and it got pretty stale pretty quick. And it was kind of one of the disappointing aspects of the game, considering that they put a little more emphasis on the lightsaber customization. That was fun. You can get these little pieces and craft different lightsabers, and they seem to expand on that a lot in this game as well. But what they really expand again is the customization for Cal himself. The clothes are individual pieces now. You can craft your own different image. You can also change the hairstyles and everything. So there's a lot more emphasis on just creating something that's more unique to the player in terms of the level design, in terms of the character design, and the gameplay. Player freedom seems to be the biggest aim with this game. And then I think the last change that is really going to shake up the gameplay in this is the addition of a partner. You get this dude who flies around on a jetpack and shoots a gun, and he's going to be a partner in battle. And so I'd like to compare this to Atreus in God of War. You're able to command him during combat to assist you or to go off on his own. He's always helping out. He's never in the way. You really have to strike a good balance with the gameplay to really make that pay off for not just the game but the player, because they can get pretty old and tedious to play with if not done right. And so I'm really curious to see how they shake up the gameplay with the addition of this new character. There also seems to be a bigger emphasis on open environment. This is not just an open world game. It's got open world planet segments. There just seems to be a lot of content here. And the fact that there are several different open world environments that you can explore at your leisure and that evolve over the course of the story, interact with characters and take on side quests. It's almost going into RPG territory in a way, and I find that really cool. I think these elements that they're injecting into the Star Wars game is something that people have really been wanting out of the Star Wars property in terms of gaming for a long time, and this is going to fulfill that for a lot of them. So I'm really excited to see how they're able to shake up the open world genre with this game, because I feel like there's got to be something different here. There's got to be something that's going to set it apart from the competition. I hate to say it because Horizon Forbidden West is not something that's stuck with me. It's the same with the first game, just because the side content is not very compelling. The story is hardly compelling enough in my opinion, and so having to make it through the unengaging side content makes it a little bit tougher. But I also really just enjoy the gameplay of that game, so it's not something I hate to revisit. It's just I'm not as inclined to revisit those games as I am with others, such as Jedi Fallen Order, which is a game I replayed about 3 times just to kind of get the full experience out of it all, because there's lots of different little bits and pieces if you really want to obsess over Star Wars content. So yeah, it's a fun game, and I'm really excited to play this new one. I think it's going to be a blast, and yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Have you ever played the first game, and what did you think of it when it came out, and how has it aged for you? Like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff, and check out my last video about Resident Evil 4. My mind is blown. Phenomenal game, and if you've never played Resident Evil 4 like myself, you'll be extra blown away at it's peak gaming. It's phenomenal. Go watch my video and then go play that game. Thanks for watching, thanks for clicking, and I'll see you next time.